Hi Scorpio parents, welcome to your reading for July 2023. Before we begin the reading, just a reminder that the super full moon is in the beginning of July and it is in Capricorn. We are going to be seeing a lot of the old structures that are familiar to us crumbling. If anybody's going to navigate this energy well, I feel like Scorpios are going to, as long as they see it for what it is. And along with that old energy leaving, we are going to be getting this new energy coming in. And it's important to really focus on where we're heading, not what we're leaving behind. Also, too, emotional maturity, emotional regulation is really important. I'm trying to emphasize this to people that I really feel like there's going to be a shift into understanding how important it is, especially in childhood development, emotional regulation, because I think we can, it's very obvious to see that not everybody has a good grasp on that in society, and it's at no fault of their own. And, you know, there are things that we could be doing in society for kids that we are not doing. So really focus on emotional maturity, emotional regulation, and it's never too late to learn some tricks to help navigate that. I mean, you know, there's something that my daughter was taught. Okay, apparently that motorcycle is emphasizing that energy. My daughter, she was in therapy, and her therapist taught her the starfish, and I'm like, what is that? And so when you're feeling like a lot of emotions and high water signs, we feel emotions really intensely, especially Scorpios. She taught her the starfish. So what you do is when you're, I mean, this is excited, scared, angry, you do this, and it's the coolest feeling. And so if we ever are getting triggered this month emotionally, or if your child is, teach them the starfish, because it's such a lovely little calming exercise, and it really gets you back. And it's such a wonderful one too for us water signs, because that flow, it feels so nice. So just felt that I needed to start it with that message for you. But yeah, stay at a high vibration as much as you can. Like I said, this super full moon is really going to be really shining the light on certain Capricorn energy. And like I said, that is, you know, authoritative energy, institutions, and we're going to be seeing a shift soon. So I highly recommend too Pam Gregory. Her full moon video is really awesome to ground yourself while this energy is leaving and the new is coming in. Okay, so let's dive into your reading and we'll see what we need to navigate more. All right, definitely a focus on emotions and relationships right off the bat. All right, let's see here. Well, all right. Okay. So the energy that I'm feeling for you in the month of July is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords can really indicate a feel of betrayal. And, you know, this betrayal can be connected to work, it can be connected to kids, to love. But in some way, shape, or form, whether or not you're the one who betrayed someone or you're the one being betrayed, we really need to reflect on how do we respond to betrayal. And this is honestly on both sides of the coin here, okay? So how do you respond to betrayal? Because this is the situation that we are going to be working through the month of July. And really, we are being told too that you need to have some more faith. So we're going to further elaborate on this, but right off the bat, that's making me wonder if this is more than just a betrayal, if this is a pattern of betrayal, or maybe a miscommunication. But let's dive into it further. But you're being told that you need to have faith. So, and also to do as you say, because what we say, what we think is what we manifest. So are you in alignment with what you want and what you believe in? And are you putting are you putting your beliefs into practice? And especially this is when it comes to kids too, you know, because that saying, do as I say, not as I do, is just, it's not healthy. And if that's the kind of mentality that you have, that's a mentality that's going to be really confusing, especially for our kids. So I'll just leave that at that for now. Right now too, it feels like you're feeling really like connected with the right amount of the strength energy. And this is connected to Leo and fire. And so if you do have a child with the sign of Leo, definitely take this to heart, that you're really in control, like I was saying, with that regulating our emotions. Like the strength card is saying that you really have that gentleness down this month. So that definitely makes me feel like you're more on the receiving of the betrayal. So if you have faith that things are gonna lead you to where you're meant to be led, okay? And like I was saying, a lot, this energy, this crumbling of these old patterns, this could be even old relationships. I mean, I did get that 2 of Cups in the shuffle. So if there's a relationship coming to an end, with one end comes another beginning, and really focus on that. Have faith that if there is some sort of betrayal or hardship, that there's a lesson in it, and to not get too sucked into those old foundations crumbling, because those foundations aren't just in our society, those foundations are inside of us too. So there are old belief systems that we're holding on to, whether it be from childhood trauma or a past life, that no longer serve us. So this is a time really to reflect on that, because along with those foundations that are crumbling, if we're too much attached to anything that no longer serves us internally, we're going to also be seeing those patterns repeating. Okay, so you have the Temperance in what you need less of. So I always connect the Temperance to know thyself and nothing in excess. So, and this might sound kind of strange to you, but it's asking you to let go of the idea that you think you know yourself in and out. And like I said, I really feel like this is connected to there being some sort of shadow work, connected to your subconscious, connected to that inner child, that you might not see it for what it is. And I really do feel like it's connected to whatever this betrayal is. And it's a pattern that is connected to this idea of knowing thyself to the fullest. And I feel like I actually had a reading with somebody a few years ago, and they came into it with the wrong energy, and they got this card, and I said, it's like the Delphic Oracle say, know thyself and nothing in excess. And they turned white as a ghost, and they showed me that tattoo on their back, and like they were like, well, I know myself. And they were very confident that, and I had to remind them, I mean, if you think you're past learning lessons in this life, you're not. And the lessons will show up. So I really feel like that's why this is coming into the situation card. So know that there's always more to learn. Continue learning, continue embracing new ways of thinking, new ways of learning, new ways of seeing the world, even if it's not the way that you've seen it before. A lot of us are shifting belief systems in certain areas of our life. So keep that in mind. And the Page of Cups is also, I'm sorry, not the Page of Cups. The Page of Swords is here, and the pages I connect specifically to our children. And this Page of Swords is asking you to speak your truth, and it's also connected to learning, specifically with communication. So I get the idea of there being some sort of forceful communication with our kids, with the this idea of I know everything, or not like I know everything. I mean, kind of, I get that. I'm a Pisces. I have that mentality too, that I know everything. But this idea that we know ourselves better than anybody else can, and we know our children better than our children know themselves. So that's really what I'm getting with this card. So if there is any attachment to that, we can change that, we can shift that, because we don't want to attach that to our kids. And if that's something that's attached again to something that happened to you, this is going to be a time to really have faith that that is going to be shifting. Okay, really important to keep that focused in our minds. Okay, so what you can accept, and I think what you can accept with the help of this faith card, is remembering that your ships are coming in. The Three of Wands is always about your ships are coming in. If you can see this ship, they are waiting for this ship coming in, and it's the ship of their dreams. So remember that the sky is the limit, okay? And the reason that you're being asked to remember that is because the energy that's coming in at the end of the month is the Five of Cups. So unfortunately, if we let this betrayal get the best of us, and if we dwell on this too much and we fall into that victimhood, we're going to end up with this energy at the end of the month. And this isn't the energy that we want. This isn't the energy we want for anybody, especially our kids too. So really work on shifting your perspective on how you see this, okay? Because even betrayal can become empowering, and it doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes it takes years. But also too, just keeping in mind that sometimes, it's a process, and that's okay, and you're going to work through it, and you're going to teach your kids to work through betrayal too. And if you are the one that did the betraying, to really kind of release some sort of attachment to doing no wrong, okay? Because if you hurt somebody and we're not acknowledging that, and we're not taking accountability, we're going to be left with this energy too. So can you see how there's two sides to this? Whether or not you're on the side of the betraying or the one being betrayed, the choice is yours on how you react to it. And I don't remember if I said it in this reading, but we're really shifting. There's going to be a lot of energy of victimhood in the coming years. And I mean, not saying that it's not without merit, but what Pam Gregory says is we really want to shift away from the victimhood, like being victims of the universe, and become co-creators, because we don't want to be in this energy, okay? See how she's holding on. I just said this in Libra's reading because Libra got this card in a different placement, and she's holding on to these cups with sorrow instead of holding them with pride. I mean, yeah, she has these 3 cups that are gone, but she still has 2 that she's not even acknowledging she has. She's scared, and she's holding on to them, afraid of losing them. So instead of this fear, and I mean, we are connected so much to our emotions, and there's so much fear coming in with the energy on the outside world. So really focusing with connecting to our kids and using that gentleness and that empowering power to empower our kids right now, because we don't want to be connected to this energy at the end of the month. So my suggestion here is to accept what happened, okay? Because if you're going into August with this energy, that's not where you want to be with this huge shift that's happening right now. So just keep that in mind, because that is right now where the energy is going. So since that is saying that that's where the energy is going, I'm going to get some cards to clarify, okay? So how can we shift? Well, all right. I'm not even going to bother continuing to shuffle, because you got these right away. So I was going to ask, how can we shift this energy of feeling betrayed and the feeling of being victimized? And these past life cards, they can connect to a past life from our childhood. They can connect to like an actual past life. Take it how it resonates. This can be connected to childhood wounds. It can be connected to a completely different life. So when it comes to this vows card, you drew this card because the vows that you took in a prior lifetime are blocking you in this one. So most likely you were a monk or a nun, and when you made these vows, which still include a vow of poverty or self-denial, which could block your flow of abundance. And so you really, unfortunately too, this can lead to self-sabotage, okay? And that can come to romantic situations too. So yeah, this really feels like a sabotaging, you know, like this is like feeling connected to a self-sabotage by betraying somebody, and then kind of like saying like, well, that's my identity, that's who I am. But again, that's going to leave you feeling like this if you think you know everything, okay? And then too, going back to that poverty consciousness, the other card that flipped out was finances. So this really feels like we need to do some work connected to how we think about money, okay? So I always recommend, there's a book called You Are a Badass at Making Money, and there's some great exercises on getting rid of patterns, especially from our childhood. And ask yourself, what was your parents' relationship with money? And what was your relationship with your parents? And how is your parents' relationship with money and the relationship with you connected to your relationships with other people and your relationships with money? So this is something that is going to really help release this energy. So please keep that in mind during this month, okay? So let's get a card that can empower you so we can help shift this. Because again, tarot is not set in stone. It is simply a guide, all right? You always have the choice on whether or not you are going to hold these cups in fear or hold them in pride, and just clean up the mess that was left behind, or just, you know, leave it. So let's see, what can empower Scorpios for July 2023 to move past the betrayal and step into August on a better foot? Okay. All right. So the question you're asked to ask yourself is, why am I doing the things I'm doing right now? So yeah, really got to focus on why we did the things we did. And again, there's nothing to be ashamed of, okay? So we repeat patterns because there's patterning that we need to break free from. And things that have happened to us, and especially in our childhood, they're not our fault. But if we continue to accept and repeat patterns and then see the same things happening over and over and go, oh, I just don't know what's happening. If we don't take the accountability, the personal accountability, you're going to keep repeating cycles. You're going to keep winding up with this card, okay? So really this month, if you can, you know, journal and really reflect on this. Put this on a card, okay? Or put this on a piece of paper. Why am I doing the things I'm doing right now? And sit with that. Think about it. Connect to your emotions. Connect to where this is coming from, because it's deeper than just a fleeting situation, is really what I'm picking up, okay? So let's see a crystal that's going to help us do this work to release any sort of identity we have that somehow either puts us on the receiving end of betrayal or puts us in the position of continually repeating some sort of pattern of betraying others because we feel it's a part of our identity. All right, so I love these stones too. Okay, so the stones, if you can get for the month of July, are Boji stones. These stones are amazing. I mean, as a Scorpio, you can definitely connect to the energy. And when you hold these stones, my goodness. So it's kind of like a yin and yang energy. And the Boji stones connect to balance, alignment, and clearing. Okay, so the more that we can align ourselves, the more that we're going to be able to accept seeing why we're doing the things we're doing. The subconscious reasons, not the surface value reasons, but the subconscious reasons, so that we can clear this before August comes in. And let's do one last clarifying card for Scorpios so that they can navigate through 2023 July without the attachment to that. Wow, okay, so this is wild. All right, so you are, I think, the third sign to get this as the clarifying card, and it is the Six of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Swords is leaving something behind, and you know, this person looks like, you know, they're sad about leaving behind what they're leaving behind, but you have to remember that you are in control of your destiny no matter what decision you make. So if you betrayed somebody, guess what? You're in control of that decision to betray somebody. And if you are betrayed, you're in control on whether or not you allow that betrayal to defeat you, to, you know, lower your vibration. Okay, and I'm not saying, it's not saying that you aren't have every right, if you were betrayed, to feel the feelings you're feeling. We're meant to feel those feelings, we're meant to release them, we're meant to, you know, especially a water sign being creative, you're meant to purge it, but you actually have to do the work to purge, right? So we're really leaving behind some sort of I feel like this is connected to some sort of identity. Okay, and know that this, like I said, this shift is happening from out with the old, in with the new. So we really want to be shifting forward. We don't want to be stuck where everything is crumbling. Okay, we don't want to be attached to that. So do the work to really reflect this month on that. And again, like, you need to have some more faith here. Okay, have some more faith in a new perspective in life, and there's always an opportunity to jump onto a new timeline. The choice is always ours. So keep that in mind, and also keep in mind too that your ships are coming in. If you can really do the work that's required this month to face these things, okay, Scorpios? So I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot. And also check your sun, moon, and rising for more information on to get a better picture of what's going on. And also to I always ask people to, if there's a specific area that you're feeling blocked, to look at what planet connects to that. So for you guys too, I think specifically your moon and your sun are really going to be the most illuminating this month. So definitely, like, look at your moon and see what answers are there, what sign is in your moon, in your birth chart, because that is definitely going to be connected. Also your Saturn too, because Saturn is our fears and our blocks. Okay, so have a great month, and even with all of this internal work, have a great and fun month too. Okay, Scorpios?